Hello everyone, and this is our scratch, attach, and smooth video for your clay pinch pot creatures. So you guys already have your big pinch pot that you made with me in class, and now I'm going to show you different ways that you can create your attachments like eyes, teeth, ears, tail, things like that onto your pinch pot to make the creature that you designed. So I have a couple examples here. Um, this is my alien where I did the head and I did a tooth and a tongue. So I'll show you how to make those flatter pieces of clay called slabs. I'm going to teach you how to make a ball of clay, which we did do in first grade when we made our beads for a necklace. So it's kind of the same thing. And then I'm going to teach you some other more advanced techniques, making like mini pinch pots for things like ears or wings or whatever you want. Also how to make like a back leg. And then how I made this cute little mouth on this one. So slab is a type of clay where you flatten it into a large piece of clay or a longer, flatter piece of clay. I'm going to do that with my little mini roller today. So you all will have mini rollers at your table. And I'm just going to smooth it back and forth. Kind of feels like I'm playing with Play-Doh. This roller is very much like a little kid's Play-Doh roller. And you want to roll it so it's still a good thickness, okay? You don't want it super pancake, like pancake thin actually. It's like a fluffy pancake. That's perfect. If you go any thinner than that, you're going to run into problems. So let's say I wanted to make the tongue. I would just start, or the tooth, anything like that. I'm just going to start with my needle tool and the flat piece of clay. I'm going to draw, actually before I scratch in, excuse me. I'm going to draw onto the surface just lightly. Okay, let's say I want that to be my tongue, and let's say I want this to be my tooth. Okay, if that's correct, awesome. If it's not, let's say I didn't draw it well, I'm going to take my brush with my water. I'm going to put some water on that, and I'm going to take a wood tool and just smooth across, and it kind of just erases that drawing part. So if you get it wrong, just erase. Okay, and then I'm going to redraw. Maybe I need to do my tongue bigger. So I'm going to do a bigger tongue, and I'm going to do bigger teeth. All right, now I'm ready to scratch it all the way down to the fabric, to your canvas fabric that you have. Remember, anytime you guys are messing with clay, you have to have it on the canvas. And there's my tongue. And I'm going to cut out for my teeth. And then all this extra scrap, if I'm not going to use that, I'm just going to squish it up. Put a little bit of water in it from my brush. Squish it up and keep it wet, and I can reuse that. Okay? All right, now, here's our scratch attach method. So, I am going to draw lines, like tic-tac-toe lines across it. Okay, go one way, then I'm going to go the other way. And I really just roughing up that clay, like the video we saw the other day, where you got all the little boogers. You want those, because it's kind of like Velcro. You want to latch it in together. So I got to make little boogers on one side, little boogers on the other, to latch in and hold. So I'm going to put it here. I also need to scratch the pinch pot. You have to scratch the pinch pot. If you do not scratch one side or the other, it is not going to work. So on all those little boogers in there, I'm going to use my paintbrush with water. Just add some water on one side. Just barely pressing in, giving a little bit of water because I don't want to get rid of those. I don't want to smooth them. And then I'm going to attach it. I'm going to push it in a little bit, securing it with my hand on this side and my fingers on this side. And then I can smooth it. Okay. You also can use a wood tool for smoothing. So all the tools that I use, you guys have available to you. Okay, any tools I use in the video right here. All right, and then I have a cute little tooth there. After I do that, I could go back in with my needle tool and just draw with it. I could also use, I have these skewers you guys can use. It has a pointy drawing end. It has a circular decorative end. So I can draw with it. I can also use the decorative end to make like imprints if you want to like polka dots or spots, or maybe you're doing a cat and you want like the dots before the whiskers. Okay. All right. Then my tongue, I'm going to scratch on the inside, tic-tac-toe. So scratch one direction and then the other. Same thing on the back of the tongue where I'm going to attach it. Scratch one way and the other. And I got lots of nice little boogers in there. Put some water just on one side. The water becomes your glue. It's like your cement. So that's what you want in there. If you don't have the scratching, not going to work. If you don't have the water, it's not going to work as well. Okay? It might still attach, but it might not stay. So then I'm going to smooth. So it's scratch, attach, and smooth. I'm going to smooth that down to the back of the mouth. And then I might clean up the edges a little bit. And there's my tongue. Maybe I want to take that skewer and draw a little extra line in there. Okay? And then I would look at my drawing and see what else I need to add. So maybe I need to add eyes. So remember from your bead necklaces, if you were here for that, roll it around in your hand until you get a ball shape. Kind of fit it where you want it. You still have to scratch and attach it. If you don't do that, it will fall off or pop off in the kiln. You will not have it when you come back when we go back to painting it. Won't be on there. So scratch at both sides. Get your paintbrush. Add a good amount of water in there. I'm just dabbing it just lightly. Squeeze it. Sometimes I like to twist it a little bit. Kind of like I'm screwing it in. Okay. And then it's hard to smooth these small spots. So if you want to try with the skewer, you can. But you also can just wipe off your brush a little bit and take your brush and smooth in between. And it'll also do that smoothing. Okay, to help it attach better. All right, let's say I want to do arms or tentacles. I'm going to squeeze a piece, okay? And I'm going to make what we call a coil. So a coil is a long cord of clay. So I'm going to squish it. And you guys probably have done this when you were little, when you guys play, or now, if you play with Play-Doh now. So I'm going to roll it, okay? And what you want is you actually want it to be, you want it to look like a carrot. So you want to have a fat side and you want to have a skinny side. So I want this, this is too long. This is going to be too long. So I'm going to cut it in half, okay? And as I'm rolling, I'm going to roll more towards the end so that this side looks smaller than this side. So there, see how it looks like a carrot? Has a big side and a little side, okay? And then what I like to do is give it an extra couple taps to really flatten that end. Then I can scratch and attach it. This is also the way that I made my mouth for this one. Okay, I used a coil and then I actually cut them through the coil. So I'll show you that too. So scratch where my arm is or tentacle, whatever it may be. Add a little water and attach it on there. Just really squish it in. Okay, and then smooth if you can. You can use your little fingers to smooth, go ahead. And then I can make his like tentacle kind of turn up and stuff. Okay. For the eye, center of the eye, you can use the skewer. And just like that. Okay. All right. For the mouth, what I did for this one is I rolled it like a carrot. Just use my mat right on the table. And this one's actually kind of long for that, so I'm going to cut it shorter. Around it. So a lot of this stuff you guys are just molding it with your hands, okay? I scratched it. I'm just going to do it on the back of this pinch pot so you can kind of see it. Scratched it. Scratched it. Water for my glue. Attached it. Really screwed it down and then smoothed. And then I took my needle tool and I cut. I see how I'm holding the sides of it. I cut it down the middle and then I can open it up to like a little beak or something, okay? Or a little mouth. So that'd be good for if somebody has like a bird or you want to do a monster with a cool mouth, okay? That would work. Okay, so I'm back to a regular pinch pot. I kind of took all my stuff off so I can start from scratch because I want to show you a couple of more difficult things to do. So making like a back leg of an animal is kind of difficult. So I had another art teacher actually show me how to create an easier back leg. So this can be kind of a tricky thing. If you're not feeling confident about it, you don't need to do it, okay? I'm going to make kind of a curved cut on the side. Everybody see that? Okay. Made just a little curve. I didn't go up super high. I just went about the middle and then down. Made this little curvy line. Okay. Then I'm going to take them apart and I'm going to fold them over. One more time. So take them apart, fold them over, and that creates this kind of like back leg, kind of like a hind leg. That's what they call that when they call the back leg. And then I'm going to make sure I smooth my clay to my clay on the inside and maybe the bottom, and then on the other side. And that kind of creates this little hump for a back leg. Okay. Then I could take a little ball of clay, or a little, you want to make it into a little mini coil, and then I could scratch attach it. I'm going to scratch it here, a little bit of water, attach, and then I can smooth it, and I have this like cute little back leg back here. And then I can add, some little line details in there. Okay, so that's one way. So you would do it on one side and you would do it on the other side. The other thing you can do is make little mini pinch pots. So start with your ball of clay. Okay, and then I'm just going to make a little mini pinch pot. And it's cracking a lot, so I'm going to take my brush and kind of just go around and give it a little extra water because it needs it. Smooth it. And I got this cute little mini pinch pot. So I could make it a head. I could make it an ear. I could make it into a wing. There's so many things you can do with an extra mini pinch pot. For this one, I want to do the ear, so I'm going to kind of put my finger in there to make the ear shape. And again, I'm just going to scratch and attach. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Need my glue, water. Attach. And going to smooth. And there, you got a nice little ear. If you want to add texturing, I use a fork for texturing to make like fur. Okay, maybe I want to do it on the ears. You could do it on the ears. So I did texture all the way around this guy. So it's really cool. I just didn't on the back of the ears and the legs. Okay. All right. So many different ways to attach. You've got rolling a ball. You've got slab where you roll it out and cut from it. And you've got mini pinch pots. And you can also do the coils. Just make sure you make them into like a small carrot. So it shouldn't be any longer than your pinky. Okay. For your arms or tentacles. It needs to be pinky or less. Okay. All right. Good luck, guys.